having discussed the oppression, actually, my next question is about how do you view the balance between freedom of speech, as you mentioned, and
Yeah,
legal restrictions in cases like Altun's, because this is not the only case. So, what is
yeah.
your view on that?
First, I don't think we can distinguish the general oppression on freedom and free speech in Turkey from, strictly speaking, an Islamist political agenda. They are the one and the same. But there have been, so this article has been used for critics of Islam, which could have been considered okay in a properly functioning uh, um, democratic society. But beyond this article, there are many articles in the Turkish Criminal Code which were originally intended to serve a totally different function, but which now serve uh, basically as a tool for oppression for either the ruling political class or the members of that class. And I'll give two examples. First, and this is rather well known, we don't know the exact number of cases, but I checked it, I think, a year ago and a year and a half ago. There's a specific clause in the Turkish Criminal Code which penalizes insulting the president,
Mm.
and the president is currently President Erdogan, so insulting the President Erdogan. And essentially, as far as I know, as far as I can recall, there have been 28,000 investigations.
1,000.
28,000 investigations for insulting the president over social media. These are, and these cover real insults, which could be investigated. But personally, I don't know why a president would care about people insulting him. You're a politician, get over it. But these also include very minor, very innocent critiques of the president. And I know this for a fact because I was also investigated, and a case was filed against me for, and this wasn't even for my own commentary on social media. This was for basically, I think, retweeting, or was it maybe Facebook sharing an article from a foreign newspaper. I think it was the Daily Sun from UK. I mean, if I was guilty for anything, I'm guilty for sharing or tweeting Daily Sun, but not more. It was. So I was prosecuted for it, and I appeared before a criminal court. I was, of course, it was a mistranslation, by the way. The case was dropped, but I was tried with 2 to 4 years in prison for
Okay.
sharing some newspaper article. And in fact, actually, my comment was, I think this could have been one of the few positive comments about the president, because I was criticizing the newspaper article, which was rather derogatory when they were speaking about Turkey. So and some police officers probably Google translated it, and back in the day, Google Translate wasn't so effective for Turkish. So I think this was a mistake, but again, I was one of those 28,000 cases. So this is one example. It's rather very common, and there are prison sentences. There are investigations concerning children who are like 15 years old. This has become absurd for pressuring free speech. So this is my first example. My second example is different. Since this clause only pertains to the president, so it cannot be applied to sort of protect other politicians affiliated with the AKP. However, there are provisions regarding insults, and those provisions are excessively used by members of parliament, former members of parliament, former politicians, bureaucrats affiliated with the AKP. And I know this, we don't know the number of cases, but with respect to some politicians or former politicians, we are talking in the ballpark of hundreds of cases filed, insult cases, filed by politicians against individuals.